Hello everyone, welcome back to Kanji Oboema show. Today we'll be doing kanji numbers 110 to 120 of the Kodansha Kanji Learners course. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So this is the first kanji of today. This is kanji number 101. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. I only just realized. It is 111 to 120. So I'll just modify that, right? Okay, and now we'll get back to where we had left off. So the first kanji for today is 111, and this is how that kanji looks. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let us again see what is the meaning of this kanji. The meaning of this kanji is military or warrior. Okay, now let us try and have a look at how we can memorize this kanji. Okay, so here if you've noticed, there is a kanji that we remember, this kanji, and if you remember, this kanji means stop. Okay, this kanji means stop. Also in the previous few kanjis, I think the past two kanjis number 109 and 110, and also in some other previous kanjis, we did a stroke that we remembered as the spear, that being this part. This part, that is, if I had to write it separately, it is this part. This part means spear, and it is also the radical for this kanji. So you can see that there is spear and there is stop. So you can think of it as a soldier stopping someone, like maybe an enemy, okay, or a monster or something, stopping someone from doing whatever they're going to do, from dash, using his spear, right? I hope you're able to visualize it. There's a spear, there's a sign for stop, so there's a soldier who's trying to stop the enemy with his spear. Okay, that's how you can remember it. Again, if it is difficult for you to remember, well, I don't really have an alternative in that case, but yeah, in this case at least it's one of the more useful mnemonics, I would say, and so it may be in your interest to try and memorize this. Okay, again, another important piece of trivia for those of us who got into the whole Japanese and Japan thing because of samurai and ninjas and all of them, myself being one of them, the whole samurai's mu is this kanji. If you heard of terms like bushido, this is that bu. Okay. Okay, again, let's move to the on and kunyomi. Conveniently, we don't have any kunyomi for this. We only have onyomi, and the onyomi are bu. If you're going to use bushido, this is that bu. And if you're going to say samurai, it is mu. This mu. Okay, so bu and mu. Alright, now let's quickly move on to some vocabulary words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay. This is buryoku. Okay. I hope you remember the second kanji. The second kanji is for power or strength, and because the first kanji stands for military, we are talking about military power. Okay, military power. Now let's have a look at the next word. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I hope you remember this kanji also. We did it in the previous session. and this will be read as, whoops, I apologize, Musha. Musha. So you're talking about military and you're talking about person. So who's a military person? It can either be read as, or rather interpreted as, a warrior, or more conventionally a soldier, right? Musha, soldier, right? Let's have a look at the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is B Jin. B Jin. Now because this is a more generic person, this is more easily translated to warrior. Okay, warrior. But you can see the similarity because both kanjis represent more or less the same thing. A person, both of those words take the meaning of warrior. Alright. Let's have a look at the next one. Oops, let me rewrite that. Okay, and I'll also give a line space. 1, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and you will read this as boom. Okay, so the first is literary, and the second is military. So the meaning is literary and military. Okay, literary and military. Fine. Okay, let's move on to the next kanji. This is number 112. Okay, this is how that kanji looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now again, I will tell you the meaning first. The meaning is thread. The meaning is thread. Okay. Now we look at the mnemonic for it. Now this is something we have drawn for the first time. Okay. From here on, we will remember this part. We will try to understand this part as child. Okay, we'll just try to remember that as child. We already know that this kanji was for child, right? This one was for child, but alongside that we will also try and recognize this as child for now. Okay, and we can see 3 things dangling right under the child. So try to think of it as threads. Oops. Threads that a child is playing with. Okay, threads that a child is playing with. All right. One bit of, well, somewhat non-essential information. This. Let me redraw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a radical in and of itself. Okay, this is just a bit of side information. It's not very necessary, but we'll see if there is any application to this information later on. But for now, like I said initially, try to remember the first, I think 3 strokes. Yeah, the first 3 strokes as being child, and incidentally, something that I only just noticed is that I missed the 3rd stroke here. Okay, so I have revised that. I will quickly tell you the on and kunyomi, and after that, when looking at the words, please pay attention to how I draw the kanji. I will make sure to not miss any strokes this time. Okay, the kunyomi is very simple. It is ito, thread, and the onyomi is shi. Okay, quickly moving on to words. Okay, in any case. Okay, I hope you remember the first kanji stands for gold, and we have just done the second kanji and it means thread. It will be read as kinshi, and very clearly it means gold thread. Gold thread. Let me just rewrite that. It was a very ugly D. Okay, gold thread. Right, now let's have a look at the next one. Okay. Okay, this will be read as okay, ishimo matowazuni. Ishimo matowazuni. So one meaning, or rather the more literal meaning is without a stitch of clothing on. Okay, without a stitch of clothing on. I hope you can make sense of it. The other meaning is much shorter and more easy to remember, and this is what it means. Stark naked. Okay, without a stitch of clothing on, ishimo matozuni, and what they're trying to say is stark naked. Okay, okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, I hope you remember the first kanji means life, to give birth and all those things, and there was one special meaning that we also did. It means raw. Okay, raw. So here we will take it to mean raw. Okay, and this will be read as ki ito. Oops, I wrote ki shito, my bad. Ki ito. Okay, this is raw silk, raw silk. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this is itoguchi, itoguchi, which means the beginning, the first step, or it can mean clue. Okay, it can mean clue. Let's have a look at the next word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me draw it proportionately larger so it makes sense. Okay, this will be read as shiroi ito, shiroi ito, which is white thread. Okay, if you know any other colors, you can just add that color and then thread and be like, you know, that color thread. All right, now let's move on to the next one, 113. Okay, this is how that kanji looks. Okay, this is how that kanji looks. The meaning of this kanji is before or ahead. Before or ahead. Just try and remember that this kanji is before. There are very few kanjis which look like this, at least in the first 1200, so I don't think it will be too difficult, and I will be straight away moving on to the on and kunyomi. Alright, so the kunyomi, one of them is mai, and then the second one is again mai but used as a suffix. Okay, the onyomi is zen. Zen. Let's quickly move on to some words. Okay, this will be read as izen, izen, which means before, ago, or since. Okay, before, ago, or since. Okay, now let's have a look at the next one. This will be read as jizen, jizen. And here, if you remember, the first kanji stands for event and the second stands for before, and how we can rationalize this is before the event, right, or before the fact, before the fact, or before something happens, like you will let us say you have to get an approval for something. If you want to go to if you want to travel with your pets, for example, then you need some kind of prior approval, prior booking for your pets on whatever mode of transportation that you're looking for. So that kind of booking or that approval which has to be taken prior, it will be called as jizen, you know, prior being jizen, right? Okay, let's have a look at the next word. Okay, let me rewrite that on the next line. Okay, this is zen. Okay, this will be read as zensha, zensha, which means the former, the former. You're invariably talking about a person because the kanji is that of a person, alright, so you will not use it for objects or things. Fine, let's move on to the next kanji. This will be zenkai, zenkai, which is very simply last time, last time. Okay, and then you have these phrases. Okay, this will be understood as honyarara no maini, honyarara no maini. So which means, this means before or ahead of whatever it is. Okay, the squiggle mark should come after before, so I will just rewrite that part. Okay, before whatever or ahead of whatever, that is what that means, honyarara no maini. Alright, let's move on to the next word. This is number 114, right? And this is how that looks. Okay, The meaning of this kanji is after, later, rear, or behind. Okay, this kanji has a bunch of meanings. It can be a little difficult to get a good grip on what exactly this kanji means, especially when you do more kanjis. But for now, try to remember the previous kanji and this kanji as a pair, right? So like before, after, right? You have before, okay, and then you have after, right? Try to remember it as a pair, before, after. Okay, I will tell you the on and kunyomis. Okay, it has a bunch of kunyomis. I'm going to erase this for now. Maybe I should write it down later. Let me see if there is a need for it. Okay, so the kunyomis, it has a bunch. The first is nochi, then you have ushiro, then you have ushiro, then you have ato, then you have okureru. Okay, nochi, ushiro, ato, and okureru, right? And the onyomis for it are go and ko, go and ko. All right. Okay, again it's a little bit difficult to give a mnemonic for this, but I will still try. All right, so here I hope you remember this stroke we first encountered when we did the kanji for going somewhere. So let us try and associate it with going somewhere. All right, this is also the first time we have come across this part at the bottom, and from now we will associate this with crossed legs. Crossed legs. All right, and I think we did it in the previous to previous kanji where we said this part would be child, right? So you are going somewhere with your child but the child is lagging behind. Okay, but the child is lagging behind, or he's coming after you, right? Okay, it's a little bit complicated. It may not be the easiest mnemonic to bear in mind, so again it's your choice whether you want to have it or not. So quickly let us move on to the words. Okay, just like the previous example, you have a lot of before words. Similarly, you'll have after words with almost the same kanji pairings. All right, so let's have a look. Okay, this is going to be ego, which means after this, from now on, or in future, or thereafter. All right, very similar to the previous one where we said before, ago, since. This is after, from now on, in future, hereafter, etc. right? Okay, let's have a look at the next word. Again, as I said already, the same kanji pairings so we can see a contrast in how the kanjis are used. Okay, this is going to be jigo, just like jizen. This is going to be jigo. This is after the fact. After the fact. Okay. This is if you're the kind of person who likes to use fancy Latin phrases, or if you're in the legal profession, you may be interested in knowing this. You can call it ex post facto. Ex post facto. All right, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this is going to be kosha, not gosha. This is going to be kosha, which means the latter. You know, the exact opposite of whatever we did for the previous kanji. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this is going to be slightly different though. The previous one was read as zenkai, but this time it is not gokai or kokai. This is going to be read as atomawashi. Atomawashi, which means deferment. Deferment or postponement. Postponement. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. This will be read as ushiro kara. Oops, I missed one kanji. Let me write it down. Oh, sorry, I missed a kana. Ushiro kara. Ushiro kara. Right, which means from behind. From behind. Okay, let's have a look at the next kanji. This is number 115. This is how that kanji looks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the meaning is noon or sign of the horse. All right, a bit of a background history for this. When we talk about all right, let me restart. For those of us who have had some kind of interest in astrology at any point in time, and if you've ever looked up the Chinese astrology thing, you know that the Chinese zodiac, or they represent the Chinese represent their constellations with animals, and the horse happens to be one of the animals that figures in the Chinese zodiac. The Japanese, having such close ties to China as they do, have accepted a lot of that kind of how should I say, that same system of astronomy or traditional astrology, and at the time of noon, the sun happens to be in the constellation that happens to be the zodiac of the horse, which is why it is written as the sign of the horse. This symbol itself does not mean the horse, it just means the zodiac sign of the horse, or the constellation which is identified as the zodiac of the horse, which is why sign of the horse. All right, and because the sun enters this particular sign at noon, this symbol has also come to mean noon. That is basically the background for this. All right, this is not an actual horse. Maybe that bit warrants writing down, so I will write that down here. Not an actual horse. This is an important point. Not an actual horse. Okay, now let's have a look at the on and kunyomi. Again, very conveniently, this does not have a kunyomi, it only has an onyomi, and the onyomi is go. Okay, now let's quickly have a look at some words for this. So you have okay, this will be read as gozen, gozen. So here let's try to arrive at the meaning. You know noon and then you're saying before. So this is before noon, which means it is morning, morning, or AM. You know, AM time, anti-meridian, AM time, right? Let's have a look at the next word. Whoops, I apologize. Okay, this is going to be read as gozenju, gozenju, right? In the morning, in the morning, okay, or all morning, in the morning or all morning. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this is gogo, gogo, which afternoon, right? Quite simply afternoon, which also means PM time. I think it means post meridian, I don't remember. Okay, PM time. Let's have a look at one more. Shogo, which means noon, noon. All right, let's have a look at the next word. The next kanji, number 116. Okay, you will see a lot of similarity between number 115 and number 116. So let's see what that is. Okay, you have 1, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4. I hope you're able to notice the difference. In case you're not, I will show you a contrast, and I will use this pink pen to show you. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is basically the difference. Or if I had to rewrite it once more to show you exactly where the difference lies so that you don't get confused, the difference is basically this part, this part. Okay, horses do not have horns, horses do not have horns, but cows do. Okay, so the meaning, I hope it is clear to you, the meaning is cattle, cattle. And how you can remember it is cattle have horns, cattle have horns. Okay, so if you see this, there's no horn, there's no horn, but if you see this, there's a horn. So you can tell the difference between the sign of the horse and cattle. Okay, this is not an actual horse, this is a sign of the horse, so please bear that in mind. So one means sign of the horse, the other means cattle, right? I hope it's not too confusing. Let's have a look at the on and kunyomi. The kunyomi is ushi, ushi. The onyomi is gyu, gyu. Okay, now let's have a look at some words. This is read as suigyu, suigyu, which is water cattle. And which water cattle do we talk about? buffaloes, so they are water buffaloes, right? See you. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this is Gyugo. Okay, Gyugo. Here you're not going to read it as after, but you're going to read it as rear. Okay, there is no after cow. It doesn't make any sense. What after cow? A dead cow? No, that's not what it means, right? So you're going to take the meaning of the second kanji, which has a bunch of meanings incidentally, like after, later, rear, behind. You're going to take the meaning rear. Okay, oops, I apologize. You're going to take the meaning rear. So this means rump of a cow. Okay, rump means the ass. Okay, the ass of a cow or the rump of a cow. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this is going to be koshi. Koshi. The first one obviously means child and the second one means cow, so you're talking about a calf, right? Calf. Pretty simple. Let's go to the next one. This is 117. Okay, just a moment, let me adjust my equipment. Right, okay, let's have a look at this kanji now. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, the meaning of this kanji is year. Okay, so the mnemonic for this kanji is again a little bit complicated, so I'm not going to cover it. So I will straight away move to the on and kunyomi again. The kunyomi for this is toshi and the onyomi for this is nen. Just a moment please. Okay, it's called nen. Now let's have a look at some words for it. Okay, okay, this is going to be read as okay, nenju mukyu, which means open all year. Open all year, or literally the whole year without holiday. The whole year without holiday, right? Nenju, whole year without and holiday, right? Let's have a look at the next word. This is going to be nendai. Age, era, period or date. Age, era, period or date. Okay, Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, so there are two variations to this, so I will just put a small parenthetical around that. So this parenthetical is going to be read as say, the rest is going to be read as nen ga. Oops, did I put 4 strokes? I did. Ga. The parenthetical is going to be say, nen ga pi. Okay, say nen ga pi. Or if you remove the parenthetical part, it remains as nen ga pi. Right? So here the parenthetical means birth and the rest means date. Okay, so nen ga pi. So nen meaning year, ga which is for gatsu or getsu which is a month, and pi which is your he or day. So year, month, date which is basically date, and if you add the birth kanji before it, it becomes birth date or date of birth, right? Let's have a look at the next one. This will be read as this will be read as my bad. Naganin, Naganin, which means many years. Even though literally it is long years, but what does it mean to be long years? It means many years, right? Because the length of a year does not change, right? Let's have a look at the next word. I'm not sure if I wrote the strokes of that correctly, so let me rewrite that. Okay. This is going to be read as Toshi ue no. Toshi ue no. Okay, which means older or senior. Older or senior. Okay. Let's have a look at the next kanji. This is number 118. Okay, this is how that kanji looks. Okay, now let's try and see how we can remember this. I hope we all remember this means man, right? And we said that this part means cow, right? Man and cow. So a man's cow is his own matter. Okay, I hope you're able to guess the meaning. The meaning of this kanji is matter, not your physics matter but your English matter. Okay, not your physics matter, just try and bear that in mind. Okay, or case. Okay, matter or case. A man's cow is his own matter, right? Now let's have a look at the on and kunyomi. Again, very conveniently, this does not have any kunyomi, it only has onyomi, and the onyomi is ken. Alright. Now let's have a look at some words for it. This will be read as yoken, Yoken, which means matter of business. Okay, matter of business or things to be done. Things to be done. Right? Let's have a look at the next one. This is jiken, which means affair, incident, case, or event. Event matter, or that affair, or that event, or that incident, or case. Right? You're talking about an event and matter. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Oops, I got the stroke order wrong. Let me redo that. This is Anken, again matter, case, or item. Matter, case, or item. Anken. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. You're going to read it as gojuken. Okay, or you can also read it as, instead of gojuken, you're going to read it as gojiken. Okay, that's the only difference, if I must point it out. This is the only common factor, and this here is additional. Okay, which means, this means 50 cases or 50 items, right? 50 items. Let's have a look at the next one. This will be read as Sonoken ni tsuite. About that case, or regarding that matter. Okay, regarding that matter. That's how you're going to understand that. It's more of a phrase than a vocabulary word. Okay, let's have a look at the next one, which is number 119. Okay, that's how that looks. The meaning is article, section, clause, or strip. Okay, this is the meaning. Okay, now let's have a few important mnemonic related things clarified at this point. If you remember that in this kanji, when we said that for now let's think of this as legs, the important characteristic was that it came in the bottom, right? And in this case we are able to see it at the very top. Okay, so for this case let us try to think of it as an angled rooftop, okay, when seen from one end. Okay, and you obviously have the kanji of tree below it, right, for constructing this particular rooftop. Or you're saying that you're using strips of wood used to construct a rooftop. Okay, you can think of it like that, right? You can also associate this idea of strips as being lines in an article or document. Okay, lines or articles in a document. Oops, I apologize, I wrote something else and I said something else. Okay, let me rewrite that. Lines or articles in a document. Okay, it could be a little difficult to memorize the mnemonic, in which case, you know, we can just skip it and go ahead. The on and kunyomi, very conveniently, again this does not have a kunyomi, it only has an onyomi, which is jo. Now let's have a look at some words for it. This is read as, okay, jomoku, or article or stipulation, or you can think of it as, you know, jo being, let us take it as being clause. Let us take the first kanji to mean clause. And if you remember, we said that in order to indicate items of a list, we are going to use the second kanji. So you're saying that it is one clause from a list. So it is an article or a stipulation in a list of stipulations. Okay, that's one way of trying and remembering it. Let's have a look at the next word. This is going to be read as joken, which means conditions, or terms, you know, like from terms and conditions, right? Or it can mean item or provisio. Oh, I apologize, the Latin word is proviso. Okay, let's have a look at the next word. Okay, this is shinjo, which means principle, a condition that you believe, right? A principle, a creed, or an article of faith. An article of faith. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay. Joben, which means text of a regulation or provision. Okay, let's have a look at one more. Okay, this will be read as ichijo, okay, or a line, a matter, okay, a quotation. A line, a matter, or a quotation. Okay, let's go and have a look at the next kanji. I think this is 120. Okay, this is how that looks. You have 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me redraw that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's have a look at the meaning of this. So this means change into, or convert. Okay, so let's try and see how we can memorize this. So we already know that this is supposed to mean a person, right? This is supposed to mean a person. For now, let us try and imagine this stroke as a person who has fallen on his rear end. So if you say that this person, let us say this person somehow tripped and he fell, and this leg of his has become like this, and this is his other leg. Okay, it's basically that. So you can say a person changed into this as he fell on his rear. Okay, it's not a very straightforward kind of mnemonic, so you can feel free to skip it, but yeah, it kind of conveys the meaning. A person changed into that other shape from the first shape as he fell on his rear, right? So let's have a look at some onen kunyomis. So you have kunyomi. The first is bakeru, and the second is bakasu. Bakeru and bakasu. Okay, oops, I forgot. The onyomi for this is ka or ke. Ka or ke. Now let's have a look at some words. This will be read as kase or chemical synthesis, or transformation. No, change into and become, or convert become, which is to say transformation or transform. Okay, let's have a look at one more. So this is probably where you will get the connection to chemicals and chemical synthesis and why there is an association with chemistry. You will come to understand that. So you have this is read as Kagaku, Kagaku, and it means chemistry. Chemistry. Okay, so this is why, or rather, you can remember this association in order to remember kase as also meaning chemical synthesis. Right? Let's have a look at one more. Okay, I hope you know the first katakana part. I will just rewrite it as it is. We'll just rewrite it as it is. Okay, it is read as computaka, computaka, which means computerization. Change into computers or computerization, right? Now let's have a look at the kunyomis for this kanji. So you have this, which is bakeru, which means change oneself into. Change oneself into, okay, or take the form of. Take the form of, or disguise oneself. Disguise oneself. Okay, disguise oneself. Let's have a look at the next one, the other kunyomi of this. This is bakasu, bakasu, which means to bewitch, to bewitch, or to deceive, to bewitch or to deceive. Okay, that's the end of today's kanjis. I imagine some of the kanjis have been a little difficult because of the sheer level of abstraction that has suddenly climbed. You may take some solace in knowing that some of the kanjis that we have covered today usually get covered at a later stage and not very early, especially the kanji for Jo and the kanji for this Bakeru Bakasu. If you are aware of the JLPT N levels, I think the kanji for Jo comes as an N2 level kanji, and the kanji for Ka I think comes, or rather this Bakeru Bakasu comes as a N3 level kanji. So don't be too disappointed and don't feel overwhelmed. As I have said before, keep practicing your kanjis, keep going over this again and again, and maybe it will help you out. Over a year, if you've done this sufficiently and if you keep using Japanese regularly, you can take my word for it, you'll get better at it, even if you don't do a lot of kanji study yourself. Just keep going over it again and again. It's okay if you don't remember, just keep doing it, just keep at it, don't give up. Okay, thank you for listening. Tune in next time. See you later.